Here's Emma in Cambridge. Hi, Emma.
Hi there.
Hi, tell us why you're eligible now.
So I received my second dose 6 months ago, and I am in the clinically extremely vulnerable category. So I'm a full-time wheelchair user, and I use a ventilator via a tracheostomy. So I'm at high risk of becoming seriously unwell if I caught COVID.
And have you been able to get your booster jab, Emma?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to book online every day since I reached that 6 month mark since my second dose, and having heard the announcement last night that if you can't book online, then you're meant to call 119 to try and book. So I tried to do that this morning, and I eventually got hung up on because they said that due to the high volume of calls that they weren't able to take my call, so I wasn't even able to stay on hold, and wasn't able to book it.
How do you feel about that, Emma?
I think it's incredibly frustrating that we're being told the steps that we need to do, but when we try and do it, the system isn't letting us, and I'm really worried about, as you say, immunity sort of weakens after 6 months, and I need to make sure that I'm protecting myself as much as I possibly can. And by not being able to get this booster, even though I'm eligible for it, it's so frustrating, and I don't know what else to do. I'm following the steps that the health minister has told us to do, but they're not working. The system isn't supporting this plan A that they have.
I wonder if you could tell us, Emma, if it's all right to ask you, the nature of your condition and why you are in a wheelchair and why you use a ventilator and why it's so important to your safety that you get this booster jab.
Absolutely. So I have a type of muscular dystrophy. It's called spinal muscular atrophy. And essentially what that means is all of my muscles are very weak, and I'm prone to a lot of respiratory chest infections, and I've struggled with those my entire life. And in 2009, I actually contracted the swine flu, and it was since then I now use a ventilator via a tracheostomy. So for people that don't know, that's the hole that you get in your neck with the little tube, and that's how I get support to breathe. So, the worry about me catching COVID, knowing that it's a respiratory illness, is so scary for me because I've been through one, sort of global epidemic, and I'm so scared about going through another one and getting seriously ill from that. So to me, it's incredibly important that I do absolutely everything that I can to protect myself.
And what would you say to the Health Secretary if he was listening right now after his press conference last night?
I'd say, first of all, that the system that everyone is trying to use isn't coping. People that I know who are in a similar type of vulnerability situation have just turned up at vaccination centres and have been able to get it. But for a lot of people, that's not an option. And I personally think that this plan B to implement some more safety measures such as masks and social distancing, I think that should have been brought in a long time ago. I don't think that those restrictions ever should have left. The numbers don't give us any reason to go back to the way that life was. We are still in the pandemic, and the health minister has said that many times. He said that yesterday. The pandemic is still going on, and he encourages people to wear masks and socially distance. So I don't personally understand why that's not being required. Why isn't it mandatory to try and keep everyone safe, let alone those who are particularly vulnerable?
Emma, thank you so much for talking to us. Take care.
No, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Emma in Cambridge. This is Radio 2. It's coming up to 25 to 1. Here's Kate Bush.